So hi everyone, and welcome to this strength and flexibility class for all abilities. Today we're going to start in a seated position, so make sure you've either got a block or a cushion just to elevate and raise your seat. So we're going to start by placing the cushion or the block underneath the seat, and you can either come to sit on the knees if this is comfortable for you, or if you would like to, you can come into a cross-legged position. Anything which will elongate the spine and make sure that there's no pressure on the knees. So just take a moment to close the eyes here. And as you close the eyes, place the hands onto the knees, palms facing down as we ground ourselves into this practice today. Take a deep inhale in here. And a deep exhale. Deep inhale. And as we exhale, try to find stillness in the pose, stillness in the mind, stillness in the eyes. On the next inhale, just try to elongate the spine, keeping the eyes closed, tucking the chin down and under. And exhale, relaxing the shoulders down. And as we relax into this pose today, just notice where the breath and where the mind is at today. Notice the busyness of the mind and the thoughts. And notice the intensity, the shallowness of the breath. And just take a moment to deepen the breath by elongating and lengthening the exhale as we calm ourselves into this practice. As we relax and steady our mind into our yoga practice today. So just take a few moments on your own now to deepen the inhale and really elongate the exhale. And we're going to start by setting an intention for our practice today. And it could be an intention of something that you would like to calm in the body. Perhaps it's energizing the mind. But you can also dedicate this practice to somebody else today. So perhaps somebody that needs some focus, some love and some attention. So choose where and who you would like to dedicate your practice to. And just repeat that dedication a few times in your mind. So today my dedication is going to be to calming the mind and energizing the body. Now you decide yours and repeat it to yourself in your mind quietly. And take that dedication and that intention with you through the practice today. And on the next exhale, just slowly blink open the eyes. Inhale, roll the shoulders up and back, elongating the spine. And we're going to start today with some head rolls. So take a deep inhale and roll the head around to the left side, warming up the neck and the shoulders. Perhaps you want to close the eyes here. And change direction. Try not to judge or hang on to any cricks or stiffness in the neck. Try to just accept where the body and the mind and the spine is at today. Okay, so just take a few more changes of direction as you warm up the neck and you warm up the spine. Cool, and on the next inhale, back to center, just blinking open the eyes. Good. Inhale here, raise the shoulders and exhale down. Okay, so for the next inhale, we're going to raise the arms up to the ceiling. And on the exhale, we're going to lift them slightly higher. And on the next inhale, lift them slightly higher. And on the next one, even higher, reaching up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, bring them all the way back down. Good. So inhale, arms back up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, we're going to twist. So left arm goes to the outside of the right knee. Twist over the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right hand goes to the outside of the left knee and just create a short twist over that left shoulder. And exhale back to center. Okay, good. One last time. Inhale the arms up. This time we're going to exhale and we're going to clasp the hands behind the back, relaxing the shoulders down. Just take a few moments here to engage the core, tuck the chin down, lower the eye line towards the floor, and just take 5 deep breaths in your own time as we warm up the shoulders and the spine. Okay. Once you've finished your 5 breaths, just release the clasp of the hands, and we're just going to place the left palm down onto the mat. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the right arm over the head, and we're going to lean towards the left side of the mat. Remembering to engage the core. On the inhale, try to lift the chest, looking upwards towards the ceiling. On the exhale, try to increase the stretch over towards the left side. Inhale back to center. Good. Exhale, place the right arm down. Inhale, left arm goes up over the head. We then inhale and open the chest out. And exhale, melt into the pose. Inhale and exhale, really deepen into that stretch. Twist the chest upwards towards the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to come back to center. Lovely. Okay, from here, we're going to remove the cushion or remove the block from underneath the seat. We're going to come into our first pose, which is our tabletop pose. So from here, we're going to come onto hands and we're going to come onto knees. Hands are going to be underneath the shoulders and the knees are going to be underneath the hips. So we're going to start today by coming up onto a raised tabletop pose. So in a moment, we're going to take a deep inhale in, and as we inhale, we're also going to lift the knees up and we're going to press into the tops of our feet. So we're going to take a deep inhale together. Inhale in, and as we exhale, just push into the hands as we raise the knees off the floor. Looking down towards the mat in between the hands. And exhale all the way back down. Good. So engage the core. We're going to take a deep inhale in here. Push up into the hands. Exhale. Okay, we're going to do 2 more rounds onto our tabletop pose. So inhale, lift up onto the tops of the feet. Lift the knees. Exhale back down. Good. So we're starting to create heat into the legs and into the arms and of course into the core. So take a deep inhale in here to rest. And a deep exhale. Okay, one last time. Inhale, lifting the knees up. Slightly longer in this pose. And exhale, back into tabletop pose. Good. So we're just going to come into our forearm plank today. So we're going to place the forearms onto the floor and the hands are going to be facing the front of the mat. So keep the knees exactly where they are, keep the hips where they are. The forearms come down, the elbows and the hands are about shoulder width apart. The bum is facing up into the air. On the next inhale, just straighten out the left leg as we tuck the toes under, okay? Take an inhale and an exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to straighten out the right leg to meet the left and we're going to come into forearm plank. As we exhale, just slowly lower the hips down, creating a straight line from the crown of the head all the way down to the tailbone. Engage the core. Try not to let the hips sink or push up too much. Try to stay in a straight spine. Straight line for 3, 2, 1. Knees come back down. Well done, come back into tabletop pose. Good. So, take a deep inhale here, find the breath, steady the breath. And a deep exhale here. Good. Okay, so we're going to create even more warmth in the body. We're going to come this time into the top of a push-up, which is a high plank. Okay, so from here, we're just going to make sure we're in our stable tabletop pose. Once again, as we inhale, straighten the left leg, tuck the toes under. Push up into the hands as we inhale. As we exhale, bring the right leg back to create a really strong foundation. Push up into the hands. Try to avoid that the bum is sinking down or perhaps pushing upwards to create that straight spine from the crown of the head all the way down to the tailbone. Take a few moments here to breathe on your own. One more breath. And on the next exhale, set the knees down, coming back into your tabletop pose. Good. So hopefully we're creating some spinal energy, some warmth into the stomach and into the shoulders. Okay, so just for a moment, we're going to take some deep inhales and exhales just to find some warmth in the hips. So wiggle the hips, some free movement. So creating circles, moving back, moving forward, wiggling out the hips from side to side. Then start to move into the shoulders, creating some warmth and some space and some energy into the shoulders and into the hips. So just take a few more moments here, just to find that energy and that free movement. Okay, so once you are back into your tabletop pose and you are steady and stable, we're going to take our tabletop into a downward facing dog. So for downward facing dog, what we do is we tuck the toes under. We ensure that the hands are underneath the shoulders, shoulder width apart. As we inhale, we also lift the knees and exhale at the same time. So let's try that one more time, going back down. So hands are pushed into the floor, we're pushing up into the shoulders, we tuck the toes under, we inhale, float the knees, and then exhale here. On the next inhale, we're going to float the bum and the knees all the way up to the floor, so hips go up, and we walk back into our downward facing dog. So in our down dog, we can have slightly bent knees. So the aim is to have a really straight, stable back, and then the heels come to the floor once the back is straight. Now the heels do not need to come to the floor yet. This takes lots of warming up, lots of flexibility. So if your knees are bent and your heels are off the floor, perfect. If not, and you've got more flexibility, you can start to push your heels down, making sure you have a straight, flat back. Relax the neck, relax the head. Deep inhale and deep exhale. One more, deep inhale. And deep exhale. Okay, from here we're going to inhale and lift the right leg off the floor. Toes are pointing down, the hip is facing down. We're going to push up into the hands to really create stability here. And as we exhale, we're going to bend the right knee and bend it all the way forward in between the hands. And we're going to come into a low lunge. So the left knee comes towards the floor. We walk the hands up and we find our low lunge. In our low lunge, we're just going to check where the hips are. So place the hands onto the hips. Hips should be facing forward. We notice the spine. If we're arching the spine, we tuck the pelvis under. We engage the core. And as we inhale, we bring the arms up into our low lunge. As we exhale, just push slightly more to increase that stretch in the left hip flexor. So we're just going to take a few moments to really find that stretch in that left hip flexor. So as we inhale here, straighten the spine, look up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, left arm is coming forward as we come into a twist and right arm is going backwards. Inhale back to center. Exhale here. Inhale, look up towards the ceiling. Stretch up towards the ceiling. Left arm goes back this time. Right arm goes forward as we stretch towards the left and we twist. Inhale here and exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, arms frame the front foot, and we're going to come this time into our high lunge. So we tuck the back toes under, we lift the back knee. As we inhale, we raise the arms next to the face and we come into our low lunge. Take a few deep breaths here. On the next inhale, we're going to move the hands back down towards the floor and we're going to lower that back knee once more. This time we're coming into side angle pose. So we flatten the left hand onto the floor, we twist towards the right knee and we pull that right arm up towards the ceiling and we look up towards it. Try to untuck the back toes. Now we can either stay here, or if you want to increase the intensity, we can inhale and lift the back knee off the floor to really deepen that stretch. Holding it here for a few deep breaths. Take a deep inhale here, and on the exhale, bring the knee, bring the hand back down. We're framing the front foot. We're in our low lunge position, and from here, we're going to come back to downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck the left toes under, and we're going to move the right foot back into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Good. So just take a few moments to keep warming up those hamstrings, straightening out the back. And then as you exhale, just settle into your down dog, still the dog and still the breath. And take a few moments here in stillness. On the next inhale, you're going to lift the left leg up behind you, straighten the left leg. The toes and the hips and the knees pointing down. Hold it here, push up into the hands. Find that really deep stretch in the right hamstring. Engage the core. Inhale in. Exhale, bend the left knee and step it in between the hands as we come into our low lunge. Lower the right knee down. Walk the hands up as we come into our low lunge. As we inhale, hands come onto the hips. We find our grounding and our stability. We notice where the hips are. We hope that we're pointing forward. We notice the spine. If we are rounding the spine, we use the core muscles to engage. For arching the spine, we tuck the pelvis under. And as we inhale, we bring the arms up either side of us. And as we exhale, we deepen into that low lunge. Remembering to inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, the left arm is going forward. The left arm is going backwards and the right arm is going forward as we come into our twist. Feel that deep stretch in the right hip flexor. So try to engage the core here, deepen the twist. Inhale back to center. This time, exhale, left arm goes forward, right arm goes back as we come into a twist. Take a few moments here. As we inhale, we come back up to center. We look up towards the ceiling. We straighten the arms and we stretch up towards the ceiling, creating that deep stretch as we engage the core muscles. And as we exhale, we frame the front foot with both hands. And on the next inhale, when we've found our grounding position, we're going to step into a high lunge by lifting the right knee off the floor. And then as we inhale, we bring the arms up into our high lunge. Take a few moments to steady the breath. Melt into that front knee, find a really deep stretch in that right hip flexor and the right quad. Deep inhale and a deep exhale. Okay, on the next inhale, we're going to stretch up towards the ceiling, looking up, and on the exhale, we're going to lower the back knee down, coming back into our low lunge, but this time we're going to frame the front foot. Take a deep inhale here, untuck the toes, exhale. We're going to come into our side angle pose. So this time we're going to flatten the right hand onto the floor. We're going to look towards the left knee and we're going to peel the left hand up towards the ceiling, coming into a twist into side angle pose. Take a few moments here to breathe, elongating the exhale. Now either stay in this pose if this is enough for you, or if you want to push it further, on the next inhale, tuck the right toes under, straighten the right leg, lift it off the floor to create a really deep stretch here. One more inhale. And on the next exhale, frame the front foot, bring the right knee back down. We're going to come back into downward facing dog. We're going to step the left foot back to meet the right foot. We're going to pedal out the feet. And exhale into our downward facing dog. And then in down dog, we're going to find a few moments of stillness once again. So straighten the back, relax the head, relax the jaw. And find 5 deep breaths here. So in your own time, take some deep inhales and some deep exhales. Okay, and on the next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg off the floor again. So the toes are pointing down, the knee and the hip is pointing down, okay? From here, we're going to take a few breaths to create a really deep stretch in the hamstring. Find that stability in the arms and the core. And on the next exhale, you're going to step it through into a low lunge. So step in between the hands, lower the left knee down, come back and walk the hands up into your low lunge. This time we're going to come into a twist. So we're going to bring the hands together in a prayer pose just in front of the chest. The hips are facing forward. As we find and ground ourselves and find our stability, we inhale, we lift the elbows and we twist towards the right side. The left elbow is going to go towards the outside of the right knee as we come into a twist. As we exhale, just deepen that twist as we look towards the back of our mat. As you inhale, try to elongate the spine, and on the exhale, try to deepen the twist even further. So elongate the spine. Exhale, deepen the twist. Inhale, straighten the spine. Exhale, deepen the twist. Okay, so you can either stay here for a few more breaths, or if you want to intensify it, you're going to find stability in the left leg. You're going to tuck the left toes under, and you're going to hover the left knee off the floor, coming into your deep twist. Find some stability, find some stillness. Inhale, back to your low lunge. Frame the front foot. Just find the breath here. From here, we're going to step the right toes back to meet the left in our downward facing dog. So pedaling out the feet. Just walking out the dog. And find a few moments of stillness in your downward facing dog. Notice if you find the movement or the stillness more challenging. Sometimes being still and not moving in a posture can be more frustrating for, challenging for us. So just notice where you hold that tension, where you find it frustrating in the poses today. And on the next inhale, you're going to lift the left leg back behind you, toes are down, knee and hip is down. Push up into the hands, feel that deep stretch into the right hamstring. Deep inhale and deep exhale. Step that left foot forward in between the hands, come into your low lunge, walk the hands up onto the knee. Find the position of the hips, place your hands on the hips. Notice the spine, notice the chin. Find your grounding pose. So from here, we're going to create our prayer pose with hands come towards the chest, palms facing opposite. As we inhale, we lift the chest, we lift the elbows. As we exhale, we twist so the right elbow goes to the outside of the left knee. And as we inhale, we straighten the back. And as we exhale, we deepen the twist and look towards the back of the mat. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, twist. So just take a few moments to find the breath and find steadiness here. So if you're comfortable in this pose, you can stay here, or if you're feeling brave, you can tuck the back toes under, so tuck the right toes under, and as you inhale, float the right knee off the floor. Inhale, elongate the spine, and exhale, twist. One more inhale, and on the exhale, the knee comes all the way back down towards the floor. We frame the front foot. We bring the front foot to meet the left foot in downward facing dog. Good. Okay, so we're going to slow down the pace of the practice now. So from your down dog, what I'd like you to do is just take a few deep inhales and a few deep exhales. So on the next inhale, straighten out the left leg behind you. We're going to come into pigeon pose. So we're going to bend the left knee and bring it just behind the left wrist. We're then going to place it down, shuffle the right leg back. Exhale, coming into pigeon pose. So at the top of our pigeon pose here, just walk the fingers back. Just find your comfortable position. So from here, we're going to push up into the hands, and on the exhale, we're going to walk down and sink into our pigeon pose, finding a deep stretch in the hips. On the next inhale, just walk the hands back. So from here, we can either stay in pigeon at the top of our pigeon, or if we want to deepen the stretch, we can use the right arm, stretch it back to grab hold of the right foot and see if you can create a deep stretch in that right knee into the quad. If you want, you can twist towards that back foot. On the next exhale, just let go of that foot, and then we're going to come back into our downward facing dog. So tuck the back toes under and come up into our down dog. So this time we're going to straighten the right leg, bring it up behind us, toes are pointing down, and the exhale, we're going to bring that right knee and bend it towards the right wrist, just behind it. Shuffle the left arm, the left leg back. Come down into your pigeon pose. So just to start, find your position. Then when you find your position, just straighten out the spine, use the hands, push you back up, find a few deep breaths here. And on the next exhale, walk yourself down into pigeon pose. on the next inhale, walk the hands back. Either stay here in your pigeon pose, or if you feel comfortable, use the left arm to stretch back and take a hold of your left foot, creating a deep stretch in the quads. And exhale, release. From here, we're going to come onto our back. So we're going to twist the leg under, swivel round onto our bums, and then from our bums, we're just going to relax the vertebra all the way down gradually, one at a time, using the core, using the stomach muscles to come all the way down onto our back and straightening up the legs. So take a deep inhale in here and a deep exhale out. Deep inhale and open the mouth as you exhale everything out. 2 more like this. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale in. So as we come into our final resting pose of Shavasana today, just open up the legs, open up the arms. Legs are about hip width apart, palms are facing upwards. We relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, close the eyes. And just take a few moments to think about your dedication for your practice today. Think about where you dedicated your practice to and who you're dedicated your practice with. And just notice how the body feels and how the mind feels today. And just take a few moments of stillness here. Notice how you feel in the stillness. Observe the silence. Observe how you feel in the silence. And the next inhale, you're going to keep the eyes closed, bring the hands into prayer at the chest. Just thank yourself for practicing today, for coming to the mat, for energizing the body, relaxing the mind. Take a few more moments here in Shavasana, and when you're ready, you can begin to peel yourself from the mat and say Namaste, well done.